Hello and welcome back to the I Fox the Juice podcast. I am your host Juice, and I'm here with my co-host, the flames to my Notre Dame Cathedral, Rain. What's going on, Rain?
I'm free, bitch. I can say whatever I want. Yay, we have no guest.
Yeah, it's just a little bit more freeing. No disrespect to any of our guests, Rory, Ben, Ashley. All you guys have been cool, but
very
it's
cool.
A little bit more refreshing for us to just be us two, especially so I can just go on this rant about this Notre Dame Cathedral bullshit. I know it's been a few days, but I'm still a little pissed about this. What's your take on this thing?
Yeah, we're gonna talk mad shit about it. Are you ready to talk about it now?
Yeah, I'm just gonna rant for a second. So I don't mean to get political. I don't mean to. If there's any conservative listeners or religious listeners or whatever you have, I'm sorry. I'm sorry ahead of time because you're not gonna like this. But I really don't fucking get this, man. It really seems like a lot of people were heartbroken with this, and I get it. It was a nice building. It was pretty. It's historic. I get that, and I respect all that. But there's more beautiful buildings. There's more historic buildings. And especially to anybody in this country, in America, or anybody that's just outside of France, why the fuck do you care, man? Seriously, it's just a church. And yeah, I'm gonna go here. I don't know much about it, how the services went, or how long it's been operating. But Jesus Christ, man, it was a Catholic church, and you just gotta think that there's been some molesting going on there. I'm not too fucking sad about all this shit, man. I don't get these people who are non-French people who are donating all this money to this. I don't fucking get it, man.
Karma for you. I think that's the reason why it burnt down.
And I guess they still haven't found out whether it was arson or just some weird mishap, but...
See? It's God's work. It's fucking God's work. Y'all motherfuckers are fucking around way too much with this shit.
I really hope it was just some freak accident that no one can ever explain or find the reason to. That'll fuck with some people.
Come on, man. If you can't figure it out, then there's got to be like something at work here. It's either the devil or God, right?
Possibly. Yeah, honestly, I think they're trying to frame my boy Quasimodo. I think he turned Muslim a few years ago, and they think that he set fire to that shit.
I mean, god damn it, man. I've seen people like arguing about how that gold cross was left standing, and then they were arguing about how metals, burn at a certain Fahrenheit and this and that. And yeah, they were going deep with it on Twitter. And meanwhile, Michigan still has dirty water, and Puerto Rico's still fucked up, but
Yes, and shout out to Just Bleed MMA. I heard the podcast this morning. I listen to it religiously. As much as they hate me, I still support those beaners. But anyway, Bobby, drunk ass Uncle Bobby, made a good point, and it was exactly my point of, especially I seen Trump like, oh, maybe we should send water over there. The motherfucker, there's people here without clean water. You want to send it to some goddamn building? Like nobody died, nobody got hurt. Had somebody here, some people were treating it like it's fucking 9/11, man. Nobody got hurt. It's just a building, and they're gonna reconstruct it. They've already donated like almost $1 billion. They're fine. No one's gonna suffer here.
I mean, people donated millions and millions. I'm like, yeah, okay. They don't got insurance on that bitch. Like, there's no fire insurance or earthquake hazard insurance or anything like that on that historic building.
Disney donated $5 million. I told you they're trying to cover up for Quasimodo.
See, they're like, they can't figure it out. That's the reason why they can't be insured. I'm telling you, it's the devil at work. It's either the devil or God at work saying, fuck this shit. I want to burn this place down and rebuild.
One day when we go to the great beyond, we might figure this shit out. Or maybe we never do, and then there's all these religious people who are all superstitious, and I can just laugh at them. I haven't talked to many people who were severely affected by this, thank God. Well, at least in real life. But being Mexican and the fact that many of my people are Catholic, I'm surprised. I'm sure there's some that are extremely disturbed by this, and I'd love to see the look on their faces. But especially given the fact that Mexicans are already very superstitious.
How do you guys pray? What do you guys say?
Um,
Is there a certain saying that you guys say, like, oh,
well, I'm not Catholic, and I wasn't raised Catholic, and no one in my immediate family's Catholic, so I don't know any like Catholic prayers. Um, I, if you're talking like stereotypically, maybe you've heard some Mexicans say this, like that you've been around. We had like "sana sana colito de rana, si no sana hoy sana mañana," which is like heal a frog's ass. If it doesn't heal today, it'll heal tomorrow. But that's not a prayer. That's just like some weird saying.
oh, okay, maybe that's what I heard.
Yeah, but no, that's totally different. But
Or ay Dios mío. Oh,
that
is
yeah,
that right?
that's just oh my god. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah.
See, I'm trying to brush up on my Spanish, man. I'm trying to learn.
Oh, you will, and I'll learn a little bit of Japanese along the way. I hope I learn a lot, but I know I'm limited.
Yeah, the
But
other day I tweeted "Que pasó" to you.
yes, you did. Like I said, slowly but surely, we're gonna start getting into it. And your accent's not bad already, so
Oh, thank you.
we're off to a good
I'm
start.
trying.
But let's talk MMA. There's a lot of interesting things that have happened recently. Some things that are upcoming that aren't as interesting, but we're just gonna go all over the place tonight. So we're gonna start with reviewing UFC 236 from last weekend, which well, I feel like everyone's seen it, although I don't think many people saw it through legal means because ESPN Plus was a piece of shit apparently. I didn't have any problems because I saw it at a bar, so I didn't have to deal with any streaming issues. Bars still have the regular pay-per-view model, so I didn't have to worry about anything cutting out or internet not being, top notch or whatever. But I had a fun time, had a few drinks, saw the fights with some crazy ass people. Man, well, obviously we're going to talk about the main and co-main events. Those were the ones that caught everyone's eye. But we had a few picks over the past couple of weeks since there was no UFC. We covered a lot more fights than usual. Pauliana Botelho beat Lauren Mueller. She looked good up until halfway into the fight where she gassed out. Then Lauren Mueller started doing pretty good. Lauren Mueller's fight IQ is not great, but man, she's got heart. And Botelho's very strong and athletic, but man, she's never not gonna gas. And she's from Nova União. She's just gonna have that Claudia Gadela problem. She's gonna kick ass for a round and a half, and then that's gonna be it.
Did she do a dirty bird? Like go for the takedown when she could have clearly struck her out, or
Mueller.
yeah.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that then. No, it was just like she was just going for weird strikes. She was kind of like trying to just tough it out, I guess. Like she wasn't trying to counter, and actually, if she tried to wrestle, it probably would have worked out. But it seemed like she was intent on keeping it standing, and just weird. And she almost, like I said, she almost won. She hurt her very badly in the third round, but too little, too late. But Botelho went up in weight, and I found this out a few days before the fight that she was cutting over 40 pounds to make 115. So if she went up 10 pounds, that means she's still cutting 30 pounds or so to make 125.
God, that's a big bitch.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And
So should she move up again, or
I don't. That's not Novonia style. Just for those that don't know, I talk a lot of shit about Novonia, especially regarding weight stuff, because they had a fighter die cutting weight, and every fighter that's come from there has cut a lot of weight. Barao, Aldo, Gadelia, they all cut tremendous amounts of weight and have had trouble making weight, and they just still continue. Barao's the only one that moved up, and he only moved up for like a fight or two. So I don't know what it is with them that they encourage this, but it really troubles me. But man, I hope Botelho's good. I don't know. This fight kind of concerned me. I just think she's always just going to be a 1 round fighter, and I don't think she's ever going to get past that. And I had a lot of hope for her, but kind of dwindled now. Another fight we covered: Bilal Muhammad versus Curtis Millender. Bilal Muhammad just took Millender down. I guess they've just found the chink in the armor. Millender's just not good on the floor. And frankly, I forgot how well-rounded Muhammad was, so he just kind of saw the easiest route and went for it. It was pretty good performance.
I can't remember who I went for because we talked about it with Rory, I think.
Yeah, I remember Rory going for Millender, and I believe I went for Millender, but I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I
I don't
think
know.
I think I think he went for Millender too, because I don't remember a lot of dissension there. I think.
Damn. Okay. I gotta listen back. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks. It's not like it's been that recently. That was the one 2 weeks ago. Then the other one that none of us are psyched for because we didn't know what happened with the division, but Pantoja knocked the fuck out of Wilson Hayes and what says here 2 minutes and 58 seconds, and it was weird because it looked exactly like when Henry Cejudo knocked him out. I guess Wilson Hayes isn't the guy he used to be, but man, Pantoja looked crisp. He looked like Machida in there. I mean, he looked like a world class karate striker. It was amazing. I didn't know he had that power.
See, now they're having these performances. Like, what do you want us to invest, UFC, Dana White? Do you want us to invest in this division or not? Like, what's going on, man?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess if there's some spectacular performances lately, maybe that's what Dana wants to do. Is, oh, well, I'll keep them because they're exciting now. But what was the fight? Formiga, Jose Formiga, and Davison Figueiredo. That was like a month ago, and it wasn't the most exciting fight. But Formiga put on a hell of a performance. He just dominated the shit out of him. But doesn't mean anything, man. I Formiga versus Pantoja, that'd be a hell of a fight. I'm actually excited for that, but who knows if they're even going to be employed in a few weeks.
Well, Wilson was saying that he might be cut in July, or maybe the whole division might be cut in July.
That would make sense.
So yeah, he had a feeling that if we don't perform now or whatever, like it's gonna get cut by July.
It seems like July is the time when the UFC makes a lot of moves. If you look at it, at least I'm thinking as of late, there hasn't been like a lot of big cards from like January to June. There could be good cards, but it's rare that there's like a Conor McGregor or a big like 1 million pay-per-view buy type card in the earlier year. It seems like it's reserved for like November, December, July. So I wouldn't be surprised by that. And then Cejudo's fighting in June, I believe. He's fighting Moraes in June. So I think especially if he wins, I mean, I think you can just say goodbye.
So if he wins, then he's gonna be the bantamweight champ, and he's gonna stay there.
Yep.
Oh, cringe, cringe, cringe.
Then he's gonna try and fuck both Bella twins instead of just one, and then he's gonna
Wait, one's married and has a kid.
oh my god,
he's so weird, man. Ever since he got the belt, I don't know if it's like his manager Ali doing all this crap, but telling him to act like this, but it's horrible.
No, Ali just seems like a dick. I don't think he's like a corny dude. I'm pretty sure if anything, he's just super serious and can't, takes himself way too seriously. So I don't think that's him tweeting from or anything like with Frankie Edgar or Khabib or whatever. But it's so funny, a guy who can make my people so proud, and I literally mean like my people. I'm Mexican of Mexican descent, and I'm American. He's a Mexican American who speaks very good Spanish and English. Is a gold medalist and a UFC champion who beat possibly the greatest fighter ever. And yet I look at him, I'm like, boy, you're doing it so bad. It's fucking embarrassing. He goes, man.
What does he say now? Like, I was a Olympian or I was a gold medalist or.
Nah, nobody knows that. He's never once talked about that.
Oh my god, damn it! It's horrible now, man. Like it's too much. You're reaching now, big time. I know you're short, but you don't gotta reach that far.
We get it, man. You're accomplished and you're a good role model. It's like I said, I will maintain to the day that I die because I don't think he'll ever change. At least every Mexican family has someone like Henry Cejudo, and I'm sure it extends to other people too. He's like the born again Christian. We all have that uncle that always we see at like parties or family reunions, and he's always like trying to see what we're doing with our lives and always trying to push us to do better, but it's not inspiring. It's just annoying.
Should we call him Uncle Cejudo?
That'd be good. Yeah.
Okay, that's his nickname.
Uncle Cejudo, yeah, I'm down with it. So, all right, so opening up the main card was another one of our picks. It was OSP versus Krylov. And props to you, Reen. Me and Ben went with OSP last week, and you're the only one that went Krylov. You went with the traitor, the traitorous fighting Al Capone.
Sorry, I had to, man. Just OSP sketch, man. And he proved it. He doesn't have a gas tank. He did it again.
That's why you were picking Krylov. You just didn't have enough faith in OSP.
That and then the fact that Nikita is like a dangerous fighter. He's super dangerous. I think I said that last time. Like long as he puts on the pressure, then yeah.
Oh yeah, he's literally a killer be killed fighter. I mean, he's never gone to decision, right? That's what we mentioned last week.
Yep, never. So yeah, and then he got the sub. Crazy, man.
You know what? Now that looking back at it, I guess he did have a good point. I mean, not just because he won, but I didn't think about the fact that OSP, when he goes to decision, it's usually because the guy's being very cautious. And I don't remember him winning many decisions. So, yeah, I guess it was a good chance that he could have been finished as well. So, yeah, I guess you were onto something. I just hadn't really thought about it.
Yeah, and I like OSP. I do. It's just not his time. He's getting up there. He's 36 years old. Man, if he's not working on his cardio now, then when is he going to do it? You know, when is he going to work on it?
To me, you just got to respect the black dude who got branded 3 times in the 21st century.
Oh, Jesus, right?
That dude has no brain or gigantic balls, or both, but he's tougher than me, so I'll give him respect.
He got big cojones. Did I say that right?
Yeah, that's kind of a Cuban thing, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about
Sorry.
We'll talk about some Cubans later.
Cuban, Mexican, same thing.
Same thing, yeah.
I'm kidding.
Oh, for me, well, just for our homie, just Lee, can you say that Puerto Ricans and Mexicans, that there's no difference?
Is this a trick?
No.
Puerto Ricans and Mexicans, they're the same. Oh, wait. What was that evil laugh for?
I'm going to edit this clip and send it to him. He has an unnatural hatred for Puerto Ricans. I don't know why.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Boricua.
He's always talking shit about him on this podcast, but shit's hilarious. This goes to show all you either white people or non-Hispanic people, we're super fucking racist, man, and we can do it against our own. White people can't beat us, man. We're ridiculous.
I learned a lot.
Yes, you have. A lot of our off-air discussions it's definitely not PC. But anyway, moving on. So another fight, Eric Anders and Khalil Roundtree. So I'd actually gotten to Ben about this because, you know, he was shitting on Roundtree for going to Thailand because he thought it was a joke and that no fighters ever come back better. But man, was he wrong.
Shit. I didn't get to see the entire fight, but I think after the entire card, I text you so was he really fighting Thai style or was he Bangkok ready?
Yeah, he was Bangkok ready, but not at all joking. It was legit. He was Bangkok ready, man. That dude put a whooping on Anders. He was inside leg kicks, and he had the stance and everything, man. He beat the shit out of him. I'm surprised they didn't end it in the third round. I'm surprised his corner didn't step in because he had nothing to offer. He didn't have nothing to offer in the second round, but the third round it was just overkill.
Wow, so I'm glad I was wrong then. I mean, that's cool. But Eric Anders, he's a tough motherfucker, man.
Yeah, he is. I
saw that his picture of his leg. And what did he say? I haven't been beat like this since 1987.
Thank you for that segue, Reen. That he actually got tweet of the week. He actually got tweet of the week for that because man, this dude's been so traumatized that he actually remembers the date of his childhood of the last time he got beat so bad, man. This shit was crazy.
Oh, okay. That was it.
Yeah, here we go. Here's the tweet of the week. So Eric Anders, he tweeted this shortly after the fight. He said, haven't had my ass whooped like that since 4/21/1987. I'm surprised he didn't put the time on there. I'm sure he would have remembered the time down to the minute.
Yeah. I wonder how he got beat.
I saw that and I quoted it. I put, damn, mama don't fuck around.
Damn, dude. I wonder how he got beat, though. Because I remember my mom, she just grabbed anything.
Yeah.
Asian mom, man. She's 5'1" and
why wouldn't you just argue with her in a park? Somewhere where there's not sharp or blunt objects around?
She just grabbed anything, man. She weighs $105. She still whooped my ass. Hi, Mom.
Yeah. I'm being Mexican. I was never really beat, but seems like every Mexican kid is scared of the chancla, of the sandal. That was our tool. That was our tool beatdowns. Yeah, it seems like every race has its different kind of tool.
Yeah, right.
hmm But moving on, the co-main event. Oh my God! So I've heard. I was on a podcast this weekend, this martial arts chat, and they were talking about, oh, is this really the best fight ever? Because some people were proclaiming that, and I didn't go that far with it. It's not the best fight ever. It may not even be the best fight of the last couple of years, but it's definitely an all-time great. Whether that's top 10, top 20, top 30, I think you got to put it in there. For sure, fight of the year thus far. And as I said on that podcast, and I'll say again, the fifth round of this fight was the round of the year without a doubt. I don't think there's any fight that happens this year that beats it. That fifth round was absolutely amazing. I'll let you go from here, Ring, because I know you have a lot of thoughts on this.
I was actually exhausted by the end of that fight. Like I was constantly moving. I was moving my head. Like I was like, Izzy, move, move, don't get hit, don't get hit, don't get hit. Because of course I was going for my boy Izzy, but it was exhausting watching it because Kelvin, Dirty Bird Kelvin, is so fucking tough, man. Like he would not go away.
Yeah. As we say in Spanish, it's estético ese way. Like he's hard headed. He's stubborn. You can't beat sense into that boy. Literally, he just did not learn. He was so tough. That third round where he hurt him, and it was a weird kind of like glancing kick, and you saw Izzy rock back, and like, is he okay? Is he okay? And 2 seconds later, you're like, oh shit, he's falling. Oh shit, he has no balance. And then everyone is saying that this is possibly one of the worst moments of MMA fight IQ history, of Gaslam going for the takedown. But I mean, I get it. I think at that point he realized, like, man, this dude's just so tough, so maybe this is my chance to get a takedown and maybe submit him or beat him up on the floor. I wasn't that mad about it, but also I wasn't going for Kelvin, so maybe I didn't take it as, I wasn't as befuddled by it as the people who were going for him.
Yeah, even that first round was kind of crazy because I thought it was going to be all over because Izzy got hurt.
That's when Izzy got dropped right in the first.
Yeah, I'm like, oh shit, it's over already. Like, no, but no. We had like 5 rounds of just back and forth. It was watching like a brutal tennis match or something. Like, not these guys would not stop. They will not quit at all. Fucking warriors.
What was it? I believe it was like in the last 2 or 3 minutes. Just the whole sequence of, in the fifth round, Izzy just started getting his groove and just popping Kelvin back and back and back. And then not even the knockdowns, but when he tried to get that guillotine and then it transitioned to that triangle and then missed it, but managed to get back up and beat the shit out of Gaslam even more. Like, Jesus Christ, man. I literally have no words for that. That was just unbelievable.
Yeah, he was saying that he couldn't lock it in because he was slippery, he was sweaty, and then also he had like his knee. There was something going on with his knee. He injured.
Yeah, some kind of injury, yeah.
So he couldn't even like really lock it in. But man, props to him. We saw some groundwork.
Yeah. I mean, his game. I mean, I don't know. He doesn't show a lot of his jiu-jitsu in his fights, and I don't know what belt he is at this point, or if they have a belt system at his gym. But he's gone leaps and bounds from his UFC debut. I mean, the Marvin Vettori fight, like, he was getting taken down so easily, and you just saw, like, this kid has nothing on the ground. And then look at him now. He damn near submitted Gaslam with a very sweet triangle. I wonder how bad that injury was, because who knows, if he was 100%, maybe he could have pulled it off, because I was sure that was it. I was like, man, he's going to do it in the fifth round. Straight up Anderson Silva style triangle in the fifth round.
Right? Yeah, it would have been insane if he got it, but props to Kelvin too, man. I know I was talking a lot of shit about him, but
it's okay. I talk shit about that Mexican too.
Oh my God.
And I'll give Izzy even more props, aside from just being a badass and having that crazy ass fight. I will now call him the Forrest Gump of MMA, man. Forrest Gump fucked his way through AIDS, and this dude fought his way through fucking herpes and syphilis and ringworm and all this shit that Kelvin had on his face. He ended up looking like he got stung by hornets by the end of this shit. Did you see his lips? I mean, yeah, his face and his cheeks and all that were, but I haven't seen anybody's lips that big since fucking when John Jones fought Gustafsson.
I was gonna say John Jones. Yeah, but he looked pretty good on Monday when he was doing his interviews. Like his swelling went down by then, so it didn't look too bad. But
I saw him do an interview. I think it was ESPN with Rashad, and they asked him about this. Like, damn, you all right? And he's like, oh, I'll be good in 2 days. I heal quick. Sure enough, I guess he does.
Yeah, he looked pretty good, but I can't believe he did it. I think I tweeted that out too. Like, yes, he did it. Because
Yeah.
people counted him out.
Yeah, and I get it. I mean, he was facing this was easily the toughest fight of his career, and we didn't know how he'd do. You have to take a leap of faith of I believe that this dude won't get taken down or that he'll stand back up. And if you believe that, you can believe he won. But still, I mean, I had it even going into that fifth round. Had Kelvin won that round, I think he would have won the fight. And it wasn't like he was getting beaten by wrestling. He was getting beaten by striking. He landed a head kick in the third round, yeah, but he got dropped with just beautiful punches. And you could tell, like, in the first, like, round and a half, Izzy just looked like, damn, this dude, this is not what I was expecting, you know? And I know that Izzy's a smart guy. I know he prepared well, but even then, he looked like, all right, this is something else.
Yeah, it's insane that he fought so much, you know, in the UFC, MMA fighter. And he did it. He's now an interim champ. Like, that's amazing. Like, people should praise him or give him props and not talk shit. Like, come on, he's an interim champ, but he's still a champ. Like, he's done it before in other combat sports, kickboxing, boxing. Now he's here. Give him his respect, man. I mean, Calvin too. Like, he had to have a great dance partner so we can have an awesome fight like that. Like, they both like brought it in. Fucking amazing, man. Like I said, I was exhausted. Like, I needed like a cigarette or something. I don't even smoke. I don't even smoke cigarettes. So.
You know, it's crazy. You know, it's crazy at the bar. I don't know. You know, at the bar, you can never tell because sometimes it's nothing but diehards. Sometimes it's a lot of casuals. Sometimes it's both. So it's kind of hard to tell which is which if you're not sitting right next to them. But after the Gastelum fight was over, after that fight was over, a lot of people left. I saw like a good 10, 12 people leave. Now, I don't know if they didn't know that there was another fight, if they just said, okay, if that's the fight they wanted to see, or if they just said, okay, that's enough for me, or they thought like, well, this can't be topped. But it was crazy how many people left as soon as Dana put the belt around Izzy.
Wow.
But you know what? In a way, I kind of don't blame them because if they left willingly, I'm like, I kind of wanted to leave too, man. I'm like, dude, that's not going to get beat. And I love Holloway. He's one of my favorite fighters ever, but he is my favorite fighter ever. But I'm like, damn, that was a fucking fight. That was a fight. And I right before we got on air, I just seen the Thrill and the Agony that came out. And I respect to Izzy, man. He told Gastelum right after the fight, like, Mexican style, I got it too, man. So much respect for that dude. And then obviously him giving the belt to his coach and bowing. That was so cool. Like, everything about this fight, about this card was like warrior spirit in every sense. Him, Gastelum, Poirier, Holloway, we're going to talk about him in a second, but like everything about this card was just no shit talking, no drama, just awesome fights.
Yeah, but the shit after, him and John Jones beefing. I was seeing tweets and reports that like Izzy is the one that started it, but from what you told me, that it was actually John Jones that started this beef and shit. And I guess Jones also went back and deleted his tweets to Izzy too. So, like, what the fuck? Like, if you're gonna talk shit and leave it be.
Do you not remember OG John Jones? This is what he used to do before he was known for cocaine and crashing into hookers and shit.
Well, shit, man. Now that yeah.
Can't teach an old dog new tricks, right?
That's true. I'm like, he's older now. He should be smarter than that. Nah, he's still an asshole.
Still lands illegal knees in his like 25th UFC fight.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man. Like, I don't get it. I don't get the beefing. I don't get the hate. He's a smaller dude. Like, look at him. He weighed in at 183. Izzy weighed in at 183.
This is one of the few weigh-ins that I did not see, even after the fact. I just kept hearing that throughout the week on like different podcasts and stuff, and I was not aware of that. Like, I didn't think Adesanya was a big middleweight, but I didn't think he was small. I mean, obviously he's a tall, lanky dude, but definitely seems like he doesn't cut a lot of weight, which is good. It makes it even more amazing of the chin he has on him and just how I know he was the bigger guy against Gastelum, but I guarantee you Gastelum was still cutting weight.
Yeah, well, I'm like, what the fuck? Why are you beefing with it's not even a 185er, he's a 183. When you're over here trying to fight 205 and above, you want to fight with Brock Lesnar, and now you're talking shit to this up and coming, new guy. Like, I don't understand, man. I heard on a different podcast that, yeah, maybe this is what he's doing. He's doing the whole Conor route. I don't know, trying to stay relevant because there's really not much going on in his division. Who's he going to beef with, especially right now? Santos? Yeah. You want to beef with that dude? Okay.
Yeah, I heard MMA Fighting, Mark Raimondi and Sean El Shadi on their podcast that they were saying something to that effect about he's just trying to keep his name out there. He's trying to stay relevant, similar to like a Conor or a Mayweather or whatever. I know a lot of people don't like him. I know a lot of people want him to lose, and it seems like people are thinking that he's actually gonna lose now because of Santos and maybe Johnny Walker. But I just feel that Jon Jones isn't 23 anymore. That 23-year-old that beat Bader and Shogun and Rampage and Machida within a year. I mean, yes, this Jon Jones would beat the fuck out of that Jon Jones. But he's not 23 anymore. I don't think his body's going to be able to keep up. So I think personally it's going to be a war with Santos, whether he wins or loses. I think he's going to come out kind of beat up. But I don't know, this thing of how active he wants to be. I commend him for it. I respect him, but I just don't think his body's going to be able to keep up. And I think these guys just know, like, he's been on a few layoffs, and now's the time to strike. That 23, 24-year-old Jon Jones that was just on a roll, that guy was unstoppable. But I feel like there's a sense in the air right now that's like, if there's a time to get him, it's right now.
Yeah. Well, I hate the fact that the media is talking about it too and pushing this agenda. Fucking hate it, man.
And it's their job. I mean, it's just the nature of the business. I do give mad props to Izzy, though, in the post-fight press conference. Someone, I believe it was John Morgan, tried to bring that up to him, and he just said, like, don't talk to me about that. Tonight's about me, not about him.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you couldn't, some people were like, oh, you fucking bitch. Wait. But still, to me, it's like, that's the best way to handle it, man. It's true. I mean, that's like the whole thing with, I know it's media. That's their job. They got to come up with stories, but yeah, he just kind of just put him in his place. Like, dude, come on, just have a little bit of respect. It's not time for that shit right now.
Even if Izzy leveled up and he's ready to go, I still don't want him to fight Jon Jones. I don't know if you feel the same way or not, but I really don't, because
ever.
I don't really want to see it, because it's not the same. It's not the same playing field. Who knows what the fuck Jon Jones has done in the past, what he's got caught with. It's not the same. Now, if Izzy could take the same shit and level up, fine. Then I'll be okay with that. But it's just, to me, it's not the same. He's this great fighter. Let him be. He's going to have to deal with some monsters in his fucking division. Yoel Romero is one of them. And he tweeted something to him saying, I'll see you soon, boy. I love you. So he's coming after him. He's like, hashtag I love you on his tweet.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's like, holy shit, I totally forgot Yoel Romero is somebody that he's going to have to face. So yeah, it's great that he has this win. I'm so happy for him. I'm a fucking Izzy fan from before the UFC. But goddamn, man, he has to get through Whitaker. And if he does get through Whitaker, he has all these other fucking monsters that's coming for him.
We'll get to Whitaker right now, but I'm going to kind of disagree with you there about the Jon Jones thing. I'm not dying to see it. I'm not like, let's do it now or next year, or I don't really know or care if it happens, when it happens. But I'm okay with seeing it, and I don't mean to cast aspersions here, but I'm just going to go the same route with Izzy that I do with a lot of fighters who have fought in Japan and in Pride for long stretches of their career. I mean, it's no secret that most people and most people in Pride were on some kind of enhancements, and Izzy comes from a kickboxing background. I'm not saying he's done it. I have no idea, but I can guarantee you the vast majority of the people he's fought in his career, especially in his kickboxing career, have done steroids of some kind, because it's not very regulated. So given that, I don't think that it'd be anything new with Jon. Obviously the weight thing is a gigantic thing, and if it doesn't happen, I think most likely is because Jon just either gets tired of cutting weight, beats everybody, or just gets too big and goes up to heavyweight and just stays there. I think Izzy could move up to light heavyweight at some point. It's just a matter of, can he do it soon enough? I'm okay with it for another reason, is that they're very similar in age. Yeah, of course, Jon Jones has a lot more experience in MMA, but it's still somewhat similar as far as the numbers go, because of how many times he's been suspended, how much time he's had off. I don't know how Jon's record, but I know it's 20-something. He has like 20-something fights, and Izzy has, 18? So it's not too far off. And plus all the kickboxing experience, I don't think it'll be, that big of a disparity. But I don't think it'll happen. I don't think it's likely. But if it happens, I'm not gonna be sad about it. I'd definitely like to see it. But yeah, I think there's better fights out there for Izzy, and I think there's better fights out there for Jones. It's definitely not my top pick.
Shit, especially if he's trying to get that fight with Brock too. Fuck that. No, it's just weird to me, man. Like, just let him shine for a little bit. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean,
He doesn't have very many people to fight, I guess. That's gonna pay him.
I think a lot of this with Izzy too is that he's a new kid on the block. You got to remember he only made his UFC debut last year, so I think a lot of people just don't want to buy into the hype either because they're just being too cautious, just like I don't know, and or other people are just being haters, like oh you like this guy and he's only had like 4 or 5 fights, like they just want to be proven right, like oh watch he's gonna lose soon, watch.
Yeah.
They probably have the same take on him that I have on Macy Barber. All the people that are riding her fucking jockstrap and shit. It's like to me, I'm just like she's gonna lose soon. Watch, and everyone else is like, yeah, but she's amazing. So it's probably that kind of thing going on. If it's from that perspective, if that's how a lot of people feel, then I get it because that's exactly how I feel with Barber.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of that too. I just see like a lot of tweets about him. He's still the interim champ. He's not the real champ. Why is he like walk around with that belt acting like he's a champ? He still has to get through Whitaker.
See, and just to go on with the whole Barber analogy, like I like I said, I gave her respect after the JJ Aldridge fight because I'm like, oh, I saw something new. But with Izzy, I liked him when I first saw him when he made his debut. I'm like, he's good. And then I saw the Vittori fight. I'm like, okay, he needs some work, but he still has a bright future if he gets it together. And then I saw the Thiago Tavares fight, and then I'm like, okay, this is it. He's got it. I'm not gonna say he's a champion and that he's gonna be this and that, but like the hype is real. He's not just showy. He's not just a kickboxer. Like he's for real. And then the Derek Brunson fight, like maybe more of a believer. And then obviously this Gastelum fight, like how could you not believe in him now? But people are buying into Izzy, I think, for good reason, whereas people are buying into Barber, and she's only 2 fights in her UFC career, and she's fought, one decent girl and another one that was just meh. There's a difference.
Right. Yeah, I can see why people left the bar, and they were probably exhausted too.
Yep. And then, it got really packed towards the last hour. So people were just like, some people were just standing and watching the fight. So they're probably like, fuck it. That's all my feet can take, especially probably some of the girls in their high heels and shit. So, but, yeah, I get it. We've talked a lot about this fight right now, and we're just going to continue the main event, Poirier and Holloway 2. Poirier, man. I mean, what can you say about this guy? He did everything the right way, the hard way, the admirable way, and the fight he had with Holloway was not easy. He had some tough moments, but he still outclassed them and beat the hell out of them, really. I just don't know how you can't respect Poirier, man. And the amount of respect they showed before the fight, after the fight, I've been so taken back by Poirier. I always liked him. I was not like the biggest fan, but I've definitely a guy I always wanted to watch. But hearing his speech, him talking about his wife and the props he gave to her, his old gym, the thing he wants to do with his charity of building a park for disabled kids. And he's just such a good dude, man. I can't say enough good things about him. He definitely earned that belt. And like I said before the fight, I'm going for Holloway. When the fight was first announced, I was going for Holloway, but I'm like, I don't know because Poirier's fucking good. And if there was one guy that Holloway was going to lose to, I'm glad it was Poirier. Had he lost to Khabib, oh my God, I would have been losing my shit. And I know people wouldn't favor him in that, but there's just certain guys who're just like, oh, I just don't like that guy. I don't want to see him lose to that guy. But it was cool he lost to Poirier. I had no problems with it.
What a crazy fight, man. I didn't really have a whole bunch of energy for this one too. It was hard for me to follow at times. I was like, what fucking round are we in now? It was such a war. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, for sure. I felt similarly, but you couldn't help but be entertained. Anytime anything lands, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, for real. And they're like, was it the last round? They're like, okay, let's bang. They did that.
Yeah.
Like, let's go. I was like, holy fuck, man, more? Oh my God. And then Max was just hurt. I wonder if was his nose broken?
Yeah, he broke. I didn't really see the knee. Apparently it was the knee that broke it. It was kind of glancing. Oh, no. I don't think it was his nose. I think it was like by his eyebrow.
Oh, that's right. That big ass gash. I thought they were going to stop that. That's right.
Yeah, because they looked like they took a razor to his fucking eyebrow, But
yeah. God damn, man.
But man, Poirier's power. It's just so funny that nobody talks about him as like this power puncher. Seems like everyone was just talked about like as far as that division, they only talk about like Conor. I don't know, name like one knockout puncher at 155, and it's kind of hard to come up with one. But Poirier, he's like the most obvious one now, especially now that if we're gonna go off of the Khabib fight, Conor, I don't even know if he has. He's always gonna have that accuracy, but I don't know if he has that that power like he used to.
Yeah, that was so insane. I don't know what else to say. Like it was great. I
Yeah,
mean,
and
I can't believe we had two fucking badass fights.
I was not surprised that that Holloway was rocked, but I don't know if it was in the first or second round. He basically fell on his ass, like he was like inches away from falling to the mat. He got back up. I'm like, dude, he's so hurt. He's so hurt, and I was worried, obviously, but I was still like, well, no, he can get out of this. He can get out of this, and sure enough, he did. Like just the respect for Holloway, just for surviving that fight. So many. And he, going up a weight, so many fighters in his weight class would have quit. Like I think if Khabib would have got caught with half those shots, he would have been out. Honestly.
Yeah, when he was taking those shots by Dustin, like I'm concerned how much more he could take. Like he just takes him, he eats him. He's like, okay, let's go. Dana said that he's gonna go back down to 145 and defend his belt. This is not the weight class for him, 155. So, but still, like he's eaten a lot of shots over past couple fights there, even with Brian Ortega.
Yeah, all right, that's going to segue. Now, there's two more things I want to talk about in this fight, and you brought up a good point with the Ortega fight. So there's been this controversy with Holloway's kid, with the little Bless, mini Bless, Rush Holloway's son, who was cage side, and there was a video that came out of him crying after seeing his dad get beat up, and Shaq consoled him, and in the Thrill and the Agony, you see him backstage, and Poirier comes by and is like, hey, your dad's good, man. Don't worry, your dad's cool, which probably is frightening when you're a little kid and the guy that just beat up your dad is telling you that like things are gonna be fine. but it seems like a lot of people were disturbed the fact that this kid saw this violent ass fight, involving his dad just getting beat up. But we've talked about this off air, Reen. Like it seems like we're on the same page. Like Hawaiians are different people and they don't have the same customs as us. And if Holloway had his kid there, I'm sure he had prepared him for something like this.
Yeah, I was surprised that a lot of people were like being negative about it, saying I wouldn't have my kid there. That's fucked up that Max had his kid there and this and that. I'm like, but it was okay for him to watch the Ortega fight when he was getting pieced up by Ortega too. It's okay if he's winning. Like, I don't understand that. So we should all just respect Max's decision. He's the father. I'm sure he did it for him. He has to see all that. He's a little athlete too. He has to see the wins. He has to see the losses, how you handle it. His dad went backstage and signed gloves that he fought Dustin in and gave it to Dustin, for his charity work to build that park. I'm sure he will remember all that his dad did that. He'll understand it better when he's older. So I didn't see no problem with it.
And just I know you won't talk about yourself this way, Reen, and but I'll say it for you. Of all the things we've talked about off air, you're a mom, and I know you take good care of your kid. And whether you'd have your kid at something like this, if you were a fighter, whether it's you, me, or anyone else, I respect the decision either way. Me personally, I could probably not do it because not for my ego. Like I don't want my kid to see me get beat up, but it's just like it is inherently violent. But if I would take him, I'd definitely tell him like, look, of course, Dad wants to win, and I'm going to do everything in my power to win. But if I lose, I'm a man, and I can fall down just as easily as he can. So just be ready. This is life. And from the things we've talked about, you seem to have a very similar outlook.
Yeah, I do. It is. I mean, I think he's going to probably be a little fighter or maybe be a little athlete. Who knows which directions he's going to go into. So it got to me too. I mean, he's a cute little kid and he's crying. It breaks my heart to see my own kid cry, man. Like I see it all the time though, so I get it. But at the same time, I still have to be like, yo, don't be like that. Yo, get up.
It's very funny that you have that outlook because, like as you said, like, oh, I'm a mom and I see that. To you, whether it's like your kid, for example, throwing a tantrum over like, oh, I wanted that toy or I didn't do that right, it's no different to you as like him crying to seeing his dad get beat up because it's just kind of like, hey, shit happens, deal with it,
Yeah, I mean, I have to tell my kid, no, I'm sorry, you can't have that, or I'm sorry you got hurt, it's okay, I have to make sure he's good. He'll do better next time, or it's not as bad, or you have to do the mom thing. But
yeah, a certain amount of tough love is necessary.
Yeah, I mean, you can't coddle them all the time. That's why we have fucking participation awards.
Yeah, and
Sorry if I had to say that, but
no, you have a really good point. And as I've said before, and it just came to my mind with the big reason I have a problem with participation awards, not just because it's like a false sense of accomplishment. Given that both you and I we love fighting, this is the way I understand it. It's like, well, to lose in fighting it actually means something. It's very harsh. So let me beat the shit out of you, and I'll give you a medal afterwards. Like, enjoy that. You didn't quote unquote lose. You at least you participated.
right.
But enjoy all those bruises and nicks and cuts on your face.
Yeah, like Rashad said, like winning and losing are cousins, and I'm sure Max explained that to his son. Like, I might lose, I might not. Yeah, it's his dad. Of course he's gonna cry. He doesn't want his dad to lose, and I'm sure he doesn't want to see his dad like that either. But man, he's a little athlete, so.
And you got to give props to Max or just that whole. I love the guys that the whole like you got to give it how you take it. He's definitely that guy, and his catchphrase, "It is what it is." That thing, like he really lives by that, man. He would say that after beating Aldo in his home country and beating him a second time, even worse. Like, well, fuck it, I just beat the guy. It is what it is, and he just got his ass kicked. And it's like, well, it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. It was beautiful, man. You got to respect that.
Yep. He's such a great dad, man. He's such a great role model.
I really suggest you guys watch that Throw in the Agony video, seeing them backstage, Dustin with his wife, and then Max with his son, and everyone just coming to explain to Max, hey, you're good, and it's a mini blessed, and Max just, hey, boy was still crying, but he still had him in the hand, like, hey, it's all good, it's all good. He wasn't upset about it, You're right. He's definitely gonna grow up and take a few lessons from this. To go on the second point, though, like I said, I wanted to talk about the thing with his son, but then seems like a lot of people were outraged about the purses that came out. And when I brought this up to you again, we had like the exact same reaction. What was your reaction, Rain?
What's the difference? Like, what's changed? It's always been like this. Am I wrong?
Well, that's I think part of the reason why people are upset. It's like, oh, well, it's 2019. They should be getting paid more, which I agree. I agree, but it's like that's the nature of the business. But to me, I feel that if this fight sucked, if this fight was both of them, Gastelum Adesanya and Poirier Holloway, if there were two grappling heavy, jab heavy, meh fights, we wouldn't give a shit. But the fact that they took so much damage, the fact that they went in these wars, it's like, oh, they're putting their lives on the line. We can't, they deserve to get paid more because they're taking years off their lives. Like, but this is who they are. They would fight like this in the street, or if you paid them $10 million. That's just who they are.
Yeah, and it's been like this for how long with fighter pay? Everybody should be outraged every fucking fight then. When that fighter information comes out, the pay is disclosed, and why aren't you guys pissed off every fucking time?
It's funny because, like, I'm not a fan of Askren either, but I know a lot of other people aren't as well. But when the purchase came out, when he fought Lawler, it was pretty high. And it seemed like some people were like, damn, he's getting paid that much. Why? And I guarantee you, if you paid Askren, if he was in some big fight, you paid him $10 million, he's still going to fight the same boring ass way because that's just in him. Pay Max Holloway $10 million, play Israel $20 million, they're going to fight the same way. It's no different. That's just, they're expressing themselves and they're competing in the best way that they know. And sometimes you got to go on a war. I mean, Israel is not a guy that wants to get in wars like that. He's a very slick dude, but sometimes it happens and he just seemed to accept it. And that's just what you got to do sometimes.
Right. And I think I've seen a couple people tweet and say, like, they signed a contract. And I agree. They signed the contract. They signed the contract to either win or lose. Either lose by knockout or, win by knockout or whatever it is. They signed a contract for a 3-round fight or a 5-round fight. They're fighters. What can you do? What can you say? Like, nothing's changed with the UFC and the pay structure. Nothing.
There's been a wave of casuals that have been brought in. And I think this is some of the first time they've been reading news and payouts and things like that. And I think they're seeing this and it's like, well, Conor got paid $3 million. Why aren't they getting paid a lot? I really think there's a lot of that going on. Or even amongst journalists and people who've been in the game for a while. I think they've been, knowing what's possible now with people like Conor and Khabib and Brock Lesnar and Ronda. It's like they just expect the performance to be indicative of what they should get paid. But the deal is you get paid before you fight, not the other way around.
Well, shit, man. If they really knew how much the journalists are getting and I'm not going to bring up that person's name or the amount, then people will be fucking outraged.
Yeah, and I think enough people will know what we're talking about. But to be fair to that, too, 99% of journalists make dog shit money, too. And I know this from people who I've talked to. I can't tell you certain amounts because I frankly don't know, but I know it's not what certain people might think. So, I mean, just like that, Connor's one of literally maybe two people that gets big paydays. Well, there's only one or two journalists that get big paydays in this, too. And it's elite of the elite shit.
Right. So that's just the way it is. Hopefully they're making enough money on the side by getting sponsors or selling t-shirts or doing their thing. I don't think that they just count on this, UFC pay structure, food on the table, or, pay rent or whatever it is. I'm pretty sure they got other monies coming in too. So either by, training people or doing seminars, doing their t-shirt thing. I mean, Masvidal, I think he just created a couple of t-shirts. He's gonna have a website up soon. Good for him. That 3-piece in a soda shirt.
I seen that, but I was like, is that the only thing he's got going, or maybe he's gonna get a designer to just come up with cool designs and catchphrases and stuff?
Yeah, he said that he's gonna have a website up soon. So good for him. More fighters should do that and control their paycheck. That's the way to do it. They need to think outside the box and use social media instead of having the UFC control their pockets with that stupid ass fight kit. Make their own shirts. Make their own product. Go get CBD companies. Go find something else. You're gonna have to look for it after the fight game is over. Might as well build your business now.
Yeah, even if those fight kits were bringing in good money, we all know that they're really not. But even if they were, it's like, well, I don't know if you get all those sales after you've retired. And even if you do, it's like, well, how much longer is it going to last? A year after you retire, 2 years, 3 years? So, yeah, you're definitely right about that. We can't. Yeah, I know that the Reebok deal fucked a lot of shit up, and we want better for the fighters. And I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea. Reen and I both want better things for the fighters. But, shit happens, and I don't know why people expect things to change overnight.
No, I ain't gonna change at all. I mean, even with this whole ESPN deal, you would think that things would change, but it doesn't seem like it. And UFC is already getting their money, so they don't really care about promoting a lot of fights anymore. It doesn't seem like. I mean, anybody really talking about this St. Petersburg card?
Well, we're barely gonna talk about it, but right now that you brought up the ESPN thing, it was so funny to talk about one more guy on the card. Ellen Joban fought on the main card, and he was just like, "Oh well, UFC's getting a good deal on this ESPN pay-per-view stuff. Well, maybe that means that the fighters get more money." And I just wanted to be like, "You're so pretty yet so dumb."
Right? And if they really fucking cared about that, they would have tested the app, ESPN Plus, before they launched this shit. This is a fucking big ass card, right? It was a big, huge fucking fight card, and they fucked up. A lot of people couldn't get the fucking fight. They didn't test it out beforehand. I think they missed out on a lot of money, but at the same time, they have money in their pockets. They're good.
Yeah, maybe this isn't the best analogy, but I was thinking of it it's no secret this shitty situation streaming thing forced a lot of fans and brought a lot of fans to illegal streaming. And usually, I would say, probably shouldn't go that way to support the fighters and all that stuff. But honestly, they kind of force people's hands. And to me, it's like, I kind of draw it as to, if you're an employer and someone comes in an hour or two late, you're not responsible for paying that missed time. And if you're not going to put the effort in to see if this app is going to work as it should, you probably don't deserve the money for this card either.
Hell no. They didn't give a shit. They didn't bother to test it. It's so crazy to me that this big ass organization, ESPN, dropped the ball on this.
And you know what? I had plans way before this to go see it in a bar, so it wasn't like it was impromptu per se. But thinking about it even before I got in there, and especially once I started seeing all the tweets and stuff, I was like, you know what? I kind of did have this in the back of my mind. I wonder if the stream's gonna fuck up. One, because I don't fully trust internet to be stable, because shit cuts out all the time. But two, this is the first pay-per-view card, and I gotta be honest. Sometimes I'm going on ESPN Plus, and looking for old fights and trying to review stuff. And I have a smart TV and I have a Roku and a Chromecast, so I have like any available way to stream. And sometimes I'm looking for things, and the Roku, it doesn't pop up, so I have to restart it, or I have to go on smart TV, or I have to go on my phone. Like, it's not just like type in a fighter's name or put in that card and it's gonna pop up. It's difficult a lot of the time, and I didn't think it'd be any different for this. I'm like, you know what? I'm sure next time will probably be better. I'm sure it's gonna be forced to be better, but I'm not gonna be surprised if there's issues popping up.
It probably will happen 2 or 3 fights down the line until they can get it right. It's just like any other product. This is new to them, so hopefully whoever was controlling it or running the show in the back end either got fired or they have a better team of people, because WWE Network can do it. Well, then again, everything is a flat fee, so they don't have to like force anybody to go in and try to download an app, re-download the app to purchase the product. I don't know, man. I mean, it should be easy. It's just downloading an app. It should be simple, but it's not. You know, you're not fucking hooking up cable or nothing. You're not hooking up wires. You're just downloading a fucking app, but they couldn't even get it right. Pisses me off so much, man.
Yeah, I get you, and they deserve all the scoring that they're getting. And if they don't figure it out on the next one, it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't figure it out by like the John Jones card. It's like, man, you're literally just burning money now.
Right. So I mean, illegal streaming, dude. It was all over the place.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah, all over. Like Brendan Shaw was asking for it. Like, shit, I'm gonna have to go to the dark side. Because I tried. Tim Kennedy was another one. Like, all these fucking fighters, ex-fighters, they're trying, everybody. Hey, man, you can't catch us all. Not our fault.
All right, we've gone about an hour talking about this card. Just, it was that good, but there's not a lot to look forward to on this card, so we're only going to cover 3 fights, and it's really only because these are the only fighters we know. And to anyone saying you guys need to fight, cover the whole main card and all that, get a fucking life, man, because you know damn well you don't know who these people are. So we're just going to cover a few somewhat notable names.
I'm laughing because I think I heard, or I saw somebody say, like, good luck trying to pronounce all these people's names.
I think I'm okay with pronunciation, but either way, I'm gonna try. I'm not a pro, but I try. But anyway, so on the prelims, one of the fights that caught our attention: Shamil Abdurakhimov versus Marcin Tybura, heavyweight fight. I usually don't like him, but it's good results in a brutal knockout. Just gonna go with Abdurakhimov here. I've seen his performance against Arlovsky. I know Arlovsky ain't what he used to be, but he looks more well-rounded than he used to be. And Tybura, he's a good striker, but it seems like whenever he fights a guy who doesn't respect his striking or has some power, he kind of shies away. So I'm going with Abdurakhimov.
I'm going to go with opposite.
How do you think, or why?
Hopefully he could use some of his wrestling, Tybura, and like just grind him out and just get it done. I mean, I'm not really looking forward to this fight. It could be really bad. Or it could be like really good. We would just get a quick finish, but
yeah, I expect it to be like a 3-round grinding kind of snooze fest or a first-round knockout. I mean, I think either's just as possible.
Yeah, so that's my pick. I'll go opposite.
Okay, Tybura for you. Okay, moving on. A fight I'm actually somewhat excited for. Maybe just because it's females fighting, or I don't know. Well, to be fair, I do like both girls, but Antonina Shevchenko, the big Shevchenko, is fighting Roxanne Modafferi. This is without a doubt Shevchenko's hardest fight to date. And honestly, I think I'm going to go Roxy. I think she's skilled and witty enough to take her down and probably keep her down.
Man, I don't know. I was going back and forth with this. Antonina is so strong. I don't know if she'll be able to get her down on the ground.
Yeah, and I know she was raw at the time, but I know KGB is pretty strong too, and Roxy didn't have a lot of issues taking her down. And Jennifer Maia, she fought Jennifer Maia, was winning a good portion of that fight, and then ended up getting beat up in the last couple of rounds.
Yeah, just her Muay Thai. I don't know if she will be able to get close enough to close the distance, and take Antonina down. But
another thing with Antonina is that she's not. I don't think Valentina's an aggressive fighter, but she can be when she sees the openings. Antonina is like super cautious, almost to a fault.
Yeah.
Like, she can be violent, yeah, but she's never like forcing things, and that's usually a good thing. But sometimes it can come back to bite her. And I think Roxy, she kind of has this I don't give a fuck attitude. I'm just gonna go forward, and I think that can kind of bite Antonina.
I know. She's been looking really tough lately. I'm just gonna go opposite. Like I like both. I really do. But I'll just go opposite.
All right, and the last fight, main event. To top off your birthday, Reen. This is happening on 420, which is yes, Reen's birthday. But main event, Astro Overeem and Alexei Olenek.
I'm like laughing already.
Okay, I'm trying not to let my bias show because I think most people know that I'm not a big Overeem fan, but I don't really know how to not make it biased. I am going for Olenek, and I actually do think he can win. The fight against Hunt really impressed me. He took some big shots and just not even smiled, just like gave him a thumbs up, like, oh, I'm good. And then managed to rock Hunt and then choke him out, which was not, neither of those things are easy. It's not easy to rock Hunt, especially when you're not a striker, and it's not easy to choke him out because he has no neck. But I'm going to go with Olenek here. People talk about Overeem's wrestling, and he is a pretty good grappler, but I just don't think he's going to be able to take Olenek down. I think that dude's just he has some crazy strength. He just doesn't look like it. He's got a big upper body, but obviously compared to Overeem, he's gonna look kind of tiny.
Even if he did take him down, he might get subbed.
Yes, he can literally mount Olenek, and that might be the worst thing he can do.
Right? I mean,
As we've
5 out of 6 of his wins have been via sub. So
wait, I don't. He has way more than that. These dudes have like a combined 100 fights.
oh no, for Olenek, like in his UFC
Oh,
fights.
in the UFC. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a black belt, fucking heavyweight black belt. He's had all kinds of different subs too, by the way.
And
So
and you can't fuck with a guy with that kind of hair. He has worse hair than Douglas Silva de Andrade. And if you guys don't remember, that's the guy that fought Peter Yan, who had his hair like a fucking Cuban drug dealer, man, with the mullet and the mohawk and whatever the fuck he was rocking. That dude does not give a fuck about his balding ass head.
mm-mm.
So
And
I'm going with
Overeem's
Olenek.
yeah, Overeem's the favorite too. But I'm like, why? Really? I'm surprised that he's the favorite. But
I think well, he doesn't have the experience. I think Olenek has more fights than him, but I think just the UFC experience, the fact that he's fought Stipe and Junior and all these guys, I think he's fought world champions and this guy hasn't.
But man, he's been hurt so bad. Yeah, I'm going with the same.
Okay, I actually have a little agreement there.
Like,
So
God, I love Overeem, but I just man, he's getting up there. He's been knocked out too many times, and then yeah, good luck trying to take him down because you might get fucking choked out somehow.
yeah, and what the thing that Mark Hunt fight is the one that showed me all I needed to know because it shows that he can take a shot over him. I don't think it's that much harder than Hunt, so I'm sure he'll be able to take a shot. And it shows that he can give one. And Overeem's never had a good chin, and I don't think it's getting any better. So if he knocks him out, I wouldn't be surprised. And if he chokes him out, I mean, it's not like Overeem's never been submitted. So
yeah,
I think he can go down either way. So two of us going for Olenek. So that's that card. So now we're gonna go into a few other things. Another fight that happened over the weekend was Vasil Lomachenko beat the shit out of this dude named Krola. And man, if you guys haven't seen it, just check it out. Type that in. That knockout was it was so weird. It was a tight right hook. It didn't look like it landed that hard, but he'd been taking so much punishment that it just landed on the tempo and he fell face first. And he was out for a while, right, Reen? I don't know if they ever said, but I think it was a few minutes.
yes. I mean, that ref just let him like sit there on his face. Like, what the fuck? You can pull it up on YouTube, by the way. I actually watched it earlier today. It was a short fight.
I saw a lot of. I'm sorry, go on.
Yeah, it was a short fight. I mean, it's on YouTube for free. The entire fight is on YouTube. So, but it was a good one. I mean, it looked like a sparring match to me. Honestly, poor guy.
I saw a lot of people comment because this was like one of the first times I seen it. The referee had like a body cam. They went straight to the body cam as he got knocked out. So you just see like his lifeless eyes dead on the canvas, and it just looked terrible. And it's even weird. It's even weirder because it seems like most people that have seen that view with a body cam is usually a cop. And as things have gone lately, not many good things happen where cops have body cams. It literally looks like a cop just came on the scene of somebody who just got shot.
Crazy, man. Did you see what Anthony Walker tweeted out?
Man, I love Ant-Man, and no, I did not. Well, I probably did. I don't remember, but what did he say?
He said, breaking news, homicide charges are pending against Lomachenko.
Oh no.
LAPD is prepared to take him into custody at the arena.
And Lomachenko looked, yeah, he celebrated, man, but yeah, he looked pretty concerned. And there's a video of him checking up on him in the locker room afterwards too. So he was like, even when he knew he was up and conscious, he was still like, dude, you all right? You all right? Like he was trying to make sure, man. And I don't blame him because I think even he didn't expect to knock him out that bad.
Yeah, there's levels to this, and that didn't seem like Crolla actually, he shouldn't have been there.
I got a lot of retweets. I was surprised. It was just a weird comment I made. It was a clip of that knockout, and I quoted it, and I put some dude on Twitter had actually told me a few months ago when it was announced, like I think Crolla has a chance. I didn't know who Crolla was, so I'm like maybe he does. I don't know. But seeing the fight, the way that fight went down, I wish I knew who it was. I would have got at him right away. But I know someone, and it's someone I respected. It wasn't like just some troll. Someone actually said, "Oh, I think he has a chance."
Wow, it didn't look like it. I mean,
And someone
holy
was saying
shit.
like, "Oh, maybe that was just like some hipster dude trying to be like, oh, watch if he beats him that way, he can be like, oh, I told you not to count him out." But yeah, that was bad.
It was horrible, man. Or even from the beginning, he was just dancing around the perimeter of the ring, and Lomachenko was just constantly on him and stalking him, like gave him no respect. He was in and out. Movement was beautiful, but I mean, he had him backed up in a corner like several times. Like he had no answers at all. And at the third round, it should have just ended because that first minute of the fourth round, like I don't know how many punches he thrown, but goddamn, like that was just way too much. It shouldn't have lasted that long.
Yeah, I've only seen one boxing match live, and it was Lomachenko about 2 years ago. Oh, actually, it was shortly after the John Jones fight that we saw. I think it was a week or two later. He fought here in LA again, and yeah, it was incredible to see. I went just because I like Lomachenko. I'm like, oh, I want to see a boxing match, and things that he does, it's beautiful. It's great to watch on TV, but it's even better live. And I actually wanted to go to this event, but I kind of, I'm like, oh, I got shit to do, and I didn't buy tickets at the last minute. But I enjoyed watching it here. It was amazing. That dude's just gonna keep getting better. And he said that I didn't hear this, but I guess he was calling out for Mikey Garcia.
Yeah, I read that he wanted to fight Mikey Garcia next to unify the belt, so that would be interesting.
That's some shit. Two of my favorite fighters, two of my favorite boxers right now too. That'd be incredible. And I would not be surprised if Garcia won that one. And I do mean that. I'm not being facetious like that other dude. Like I still believe in Garcia even after him getting the shit kicked out of him by Spence. But yeah,
Dude,
that'll be interesting.
that was a good fight too. Even though he was getting schooled, I mean, he didn't get knocked out. He's tough as shit.
Yep, yep. And to go on with boxing, there's another boxing fight going on this Saturday. If you guys have the money, or if you guys know some certain streams that you shouldn't be on the web looking for, but Terrence Crawford, my favorite boxer right now, is fighting Amir Khan in pay-per-view. I respect Amir Khan. He's a skilled fighter, but I mean, at this point in his career, they put him on pay-per-view. It's usually like a guy's debut card on pay-per-view, like, oh, he's fighting Khan, he's fighting a legit guy. But these guys that he's been fighting lately, it's like they're really just stepping stones. Like he fought Canelo, 2 years ago, and got mollywopped. Like he just seems like that's his job right now. And I really don't mean to disrespect him. He's a good fighter, but I just think he's got nothing for Crawford.
God, how long has it been since he's fought Khan?
He fought not that long ago. I've seen who he fought and I forget, but he took a long time off after that Canelo knockout. He took like a year and a half off, and I think he's had one or two fights since then. He won, but it was against nobody like of note really.
Ooh, I didn't even know this was going on until you put it on the calendar. But shit.
Well, you know what's funny that you said that about the Spence Garcia fight, which I was with you, but at the same time, it did pretty good pay-per-view buy, so who knows what's gonna happen with this one.
True. Yeah, I gotta go with Crawford though.
Yeah, for Amir's sake, I hope he doesn't get knocked out too badly. But in Crawford's last fight against that dude Benavidez, who's a tough motherfucker, and shout out to that guy. He's near my hometown. He's probably from like 10 miles from where I live. So he's a local dude, but he's a tough dude, man. He's a street dude, and even he couldn't take Crawford in the last minute of the fight. He got knocked the fuck out. So he needs to be careful. He needs
Yeah.
to be careful. Yeah. But yeah, if you guys aren't into the UFC fights, I don't blame you. And if you want to see some badass fights, I suggest Crawford and Khan. Teofimo Lopez is fighting on the undercard too. And if you guys haven't seen that guy fight, he's a bruiser. He's a knockout puncher, super young, athletic dude. If you guys want to see some violence, check that dude's fight out. I'm sure he's gonna lay somebody out too. Moving on back to MMA stuff. Leslie Smith has been announced that she's going to Bellator. I think this is a great move for her. I'll watch Leslie Smith any day of the week. She's such a warrior. I consider her like the Justin Gaethje of female fighting, man. She's Jesus. There's not a war that she doesn't love.
Dude, when her ear blew up, that was insane. That was against Jessica, right?
Yeah, it was like her only win at bantamweight, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, so insane, man. I think it got like blood all over the lens, like it splattered.
Mhm.
Insane. Yeah. It's gonna be like almost 2 years since she actually fought, but good for her that she got a contract. I know she's been doing a lot of work up here with a lot of the local promotions doing like commentating work. So
does she train at CSA? Because I know she's from I know she was with the Scrap Pack with Melendez and them for a long time, but does she move around gyms or she's been staying there the whole time?
No, she's still there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then Melendez has a few female fighters, right? Like I know she's not the only one. Am I wrong? I know there's a white girl who just got into Invicta. I think I forget her name.
I don't know. I just know Carrie and her.
Well, Carrie's obviously a beast, and I know that they're friends.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember that girl's name. I think she's a jiu-jitsu chick, a blonde white girl, very young. I think she's like 20. I gotta look her up. Yeah, she's good though. I forget where she fought. I think it was Invicta, but she's good. Yeah, I haven't announced the fight yet, but I'm willing to see. I'll catch her fight with whoever it is because she's gonna make it hella fun.
Yeah.
I never scream as loud when women fight like when she fights because it's always just a goddamn war. Like her fight with Aldana. Oh my god, probably one of the best women's fights in UFC history.
She's moving up to featherweight, so I wonder.
Featherweight?
Yep.
Oh shit, she just said fuck with all that weight cut. Damn.
Yep. So wonder if she's gonna give Julia Budd a run
Oh
for
god.
her title.
That fight, never mind. I take my words back because I would not want to see that fight. That would suck.
So, yep, she's moving up. So we'll see how she does, man. But it seems like she's happy. She's like being treated really good.
That's the other thing is that I know she had a bone to pick with the UFC and for good reason, but I wonder if she's going to try all the union stuff and whatnot at Bellator. Because, I mean, I don't know. There's certain fighters like, what's his name comes to mind? Will Brooks. He hated Bellator and he would always shit on them. And then obviously Eddie Alvarez did too. But then again, he kind of had a falling out with the UFC. Eddie kind of reminds me of Rampage. Every promotion he signs with is the best ever, and then he leaves, and they were the worst promotion of all time. So I love Eddie, but he kind of does do that. But I wonder what Leslie's going to be like, because I think Scott Coker's from the Bay Area, so I wonder if she kind of knows him.
Yeah, I think there's a relationship there with the gym and, Scott and Bellator, and I'm pretty sure if they have, I know there's a San Jose card coming up soon, so she probably won't be ready for that because she just got signed, but when they do have fights locally, she has to be on that card. She has to. I mean, she's going to be a draw, and then along with that, it's like she's doing all these commentating, so it'll be a lot easier for her to still do that and train and then go fight on these cards. So I think it works out for her very well.
Yeah, and Bellator's a lot more lenient with having kind of side gigs in the UFC at times. So
yep.
Yeah, Scott Coker. It seems like not a lot of people say bad stuff about him, but I'm just happy for Leslie and definitely happy that. I mean, I hope she's getting paid better. I'm just happy that she's got somewhere to fight because that could have been a death knell for her. Because I know she loves Invicta, but Invicta wasn't going to be able to offer her the money that the UFC was. So. But I'm pretty sure Bellator could.
I don't know, right? Yeah, and July would be the 2-year mark that she last fought. So, yeah.
And I'll just say this, man. Fuck Aspen Ladd. I don't really have anything against her, but I still partly blame her for her getting cut. I know it was a long time coming, but she still fucked that fight up, man. I'm still mad at her.
Because she missed weight, right?
Yeah, and. Leslie basically didn't want to accept. I don't know if she didn't want to accept the fight or Aspen just went out, and the UFC just said, "Fuck it, we don't need you anymore." It was basically whatever it was out of Leslie's control, and she did nothing wrong.
Well, I don't blame her if she didn't want to accept the fight. I mean, shit.
Especially Askren, who's a notorious weight misser.
She's a big fucking girl too, man.
We've talked about, man, we're always going to talk about this ad nauseum. I don't get it with her. She's young. I know she's a thick girl and she's strong, but you can do it, man. You can fucking do it.
It's crazy, man. She should just move up, but she's got like monsters to deal with, like Chris.
Yeah, you said that she likes to do a lot of like weightlifting too, right? That she's like big on that.
She's so thick, man. I look at her, I'm like, how's she gonna make it? How's she gonna make 135?
The thing is too, it's like she just has like kind of a deceptive frame. Like she's just not all jacked. She doesn't look like Andrade or Cyborg or something, but clearly she's strong. Like, do you really need to add that much more muscle and weight and stuff?
Yeah, it's insane. I've heard stories about her like ragdolling dudes, so
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Another story. Burt Watson, the Wii Rolling guy. I'm sure most people listening don't remember that guy. He was the UFC, basically the backstage dude, the one that would bring fighters out and help them out after they were done with their fights. He's starting an MMA promotion in Florida, and it sounds like it's going to be kind of like a LFA type deal. It's going to be like a feeder league. Says he wants to help out the young fighters, the up-and-coming fighters. And I think it's a good move from MMA promotions. Isn't always like the most lucrative business, but if he's doing it for these reasons, I hope he can get some decent money. And if he's really all about helping the fighters, I hope he can get that done.
That's awesome that he's doing that, because I think he got let go or whatever the story is. He parted ways with the UFC back in 2015. I think he was doing something like with a different promotion too, locally, but now he got his own. So hey, he's the boss. He can do whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm. And at 69 years old, I mean, nobody should talk shit to him. And it sounds like that's kind of what happened with the UFC. That was kind of the issue, that he had some kind of run-in with some kind of higher up at the UFC who probably told him some things that he shouldn't have. And I guess he felt hurt or betrayed by the UFC because they didn't really have his back during the whole ordeal. Yeah. It's funny because, I mean, I've been following MMA for a while, so I've known about him for a long time. But I was there at the last fight. I was there at UFC 184, the Rousey-Zingano card, and I was there for the weigh-ins. He's the one that came out, like, oh, y'all guys excited? They're coming out in a few minutes. So I actually saw him, and I remember on Monday, once all the stuff was over, I seen that story. I hope Burt Watson has been let go. I was like, what? But at least I got to see him in the flesh.
Yeah, I guess he didn't like that his integrity was being questioned. He's just like, fuck it, I guess. So yeah. He's the OG, man. Don't question him.
He's Danny Glover, man. I'm too old for this shit. And you know what? At that age, fuck it, man. You paid your dues. He was in boxing for a long time too. It's not like the UFC employed him and he just wasn't doing shit before that. Like, he really is an OG. He's been there and done it. If he feels like he was being treated wrongly, I tend to believe him.
Yeah, because he's just so fucking happy. Loves his job, you can tell.
Yeah, such a jovial dude. And then like the fighters, we hear the fighters ever talk about him. They're like, yeah, he's the nicest guy. I love that guy.
Yeah, so good for him. What is it called? His promotion?
We roll in MMA.
Nice, I love it.
And it's not just that it's his catchphrase. It's like, well, I know it's MMA, but you do roll in MMA. There's jiu-jitsu in there, so I think it's a good name.
Yep, awesome. Shit, I hope they come out with shirts. I'll buy one.
Yeah, I probably would too. Last MMA story. I guess we're saving the best for last. Your boy Masvidal, my boy. Let me just start with this. So he was on Joe Rogan Experience, and he didn't even want to bring up Askren's name, which is funny because why are you on there if you're not going to promote your upcoming fight? But he truly, truly hates this dude, and when I seen his eyes lit up and just how angry he was and the tone he was talking about Askren with, man, I felt it. Y'all know how I feel about that dude, and Masvidal basically feels the same way about him that I do. And I hope he keeps his promise, and I hope he can do what he says, because y'all are going to see the same shit I've been saying about Askren for fucking years as well. If he's saying this, it's coming from a place of, he recognizes something. So I hope it's true.
Yeah, he didn't want to talk about him. He didn't want to make these sluts famous.
It's so funny how much you love him. And I do too, but you love him in a different way.
I do, man. He's so gangster. What did he say? He's going to, let's see. He wants to break his face and his rib cage. He wants to
Mhm.
torture him. He called him fake as fucked, and he called him a fucking coward.
And
And
he,
he,
my favorite line maybe was saying that if I gotta beat him up for 14 minutes and 50 seconds and knock him out with 10 seconds left, then that's what I'll do.
God, so gangster. So gangster.
You're not even gonna feel remotely bad for your boy.
No, man. No, this Cuban Jesus, man. No, I'm not gonna, I can't. I'm not going against him. Sorry, Ben. You were funny, but now you pissed my boy off. Sorry.
You know what though? I like what he was saying though. It seems like the thing that really pissed him off, aside from just I guess he just probably doesn't like him personally of how he conducts himself. But I guess the thing that kind of started the beef was he said that they had trained. I guess that I don't know if it was a sparring session or just grappling, but Askren pinned him and out wrestled him, and I mean it was just a grappling match. Who's gonna expect otherwise? And he would go on to gloat about it, and to him, he violated that code of what stays in the gym, what happens in the gym stays in the gym kind of thing. And I totally get it, man, especially because like he's gloating about a small victory, because if he were to say, oh yeah, I boxed him up, I gave him a black eye, I knocked him down, nobody would believe that. But it's like, oh yeah, I out wrestled him. Big fucking surprise.
Yeah. Yeah, he's all about that code, and it's just stay in the gym, and you shouldn't be talking shit. And yeah, this whole beef, it's real. Like he was talking about that too. He's like, because Joe Rogan was asking him, like, have you had any other beefs with anybody? Like, and Jorge was just like thinking, like, no, not really. Like, what do you
And he
mean?
said
Like,
what, like 40 fights, like, and he can't think of one.
not think of one. And he's like, well, what do you mean? Like I'm gonna see you out in the street and like kick your ass type of beef, or like just like talking. Like he's like, oh yeah, I've had some with like Cowboy. There was beef there, but I didn't want to like kick his ass out in the street. Like this dude, I really want to beat the shit out of him out in the street. I'll fight him for free.
That
I
was
mean,
just what Cowboy was just competitive, like, oh, I'll
yeah,
fuck you up. No, I'll fuck you up. It wasn't like they hate each other.
yeah. It was just whatever. But this is for real. Like he wants to kill this dude. I love it.
One thing, just a side note, one thing that he did say on the podcast that just threw me for a loop was that he likes skiing. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't get to listen to the whole thing. He likes to ski?
He likes to ski.
Like, wait, snow? Or
Yes,
like water ski?
no, snow. This is a Cuban who likes to ski, and because Joe asked him like, "Have you thought about retirement? Have you thought about what you're gonna do?" He's like, "Yeah, I mean, like, I don't want to because I'm trying to focus, but like, yeah, I've thought about it." He's like, "Well, what could you do? You want to be a coach?" And he's like, "You know what, man? I'd like to ski." He's like, "Get the fuck out of here! Like, you really want to ski?" He's like, "Yeah, dude, I like skiing. It's fun. Like, pretty good at it too." I was like, "What the fuck? Like, really? Skiing?" For some reason, like surfing, I guess because he's in Florida, I'm like, if you were to say he surfs, I'd be like, that's kind of funny, but I believe it. Skiing? I don't know, man. He's an island dude. He went from an island to a peninsula. I don't know how he picked that up. It's so funny. And he says he's only been doing it like a year or so. He hasn't been doing it that long.
Dang. Must be really good. You must really enjoy it.
The
All
crazy,
right. Okay.
the funny thing with that is that I was watching some videos of some extreme skiers a few weeks ago. I was watching like something on like Real Sports, and man, that scares the fuck out of me. Like big wave surfing, giant ski slopes, shit like that really scares me because I mean I don't fuck with Mother Nature, man. And he was kind of like, oh well, what's the worst that can happen? It's snow. It's like motherfuckers, like you could fall, you could run into a tree, you could fall to your death, like all kinds of crazy shit can happen. But to him, it's like, well, I'm a fighter. Like I don't know. To me, I will fight any man before I go on a ski slope, man. Fuck
Oh,
that.
me too. I don't like skiing. I tried. I tried even bunny trails. I'm like, fuck this, man. It's too much.
I would never even try. I've never been close, and honestly I can't even ice skate. I tried to do that once, and I couldn't do that. I'm not a balanced individual
Oh,
at
fuck
all.
that. Fuck that. I don't want to crack my head open or nothing like that.
To me, I was just scared that I was gonna. I just kept feeling like I was gonna break my ankles.
Yeah, fuck that. So, okay, so the people's champ, Yoel Romero, he tweeted out, what level boss am I to Stylebender, right? And he put hashtag see you soon, boy, I love you. Jorge, Jorge then said, this is a setup at Stylebender. There is no right answer here, bruh. So did you see that? They're both going at it.
When was this?
This was 2 days ago.
No, I don't. I feel like I've never. I think I've seen like one of Yoel's tweets. For some reason, it just doesn't pop up on my timeline that much.
Dude, I'll send it to you because when I saw that, I'm like, oh my God, I'm fucking scared. I'm like, that's terrifying.
Has
At the
there?
same time, too, it's funny. He's like, I love you. It's ILUHJU.
Yeah, he just owned it. Has there been anybody in history who can say "I love you"? That's that terrifying.
Oh my God, man. It's scary. Like, fuck, what do you do?
Honestly, I think if I ran into Yoel in the street and he said like "fuck you," I'll fucking kill you. I think I'd be less scared than if he said "I love you."
Fuck, man.
There's just certain things, certain accents, certain people, certain body types. You hear certain things, you're like, oh fuck, this sucks.
Dude, I love Yoel Romero. So I don't know what's going to happen when him and Izzy meet in the middle.
I think you got a thing for Cubans.
Dude, man. Yoel was cool. Like, I remember, like, years ago when I first got on Twitter, I was talking about him, and somebody tagged him or so. So we were going back and forth, and he was liking every tweet. Like, he was like, either him or his manager or somebody was paying attention to our conversation.
It's funny. I don't know. I think some people, if they've heard me on other podcasts, like before this, I'd always talk about. I kind of like that Yoel's the stereotypical Cuban cheater. And I don't say that to mean that Cubans love to cheat, but as far as athletes go, I've seen it in boxing and the Olympics. They're notorious for cheating, and I don't think it's because they want to get a leg up. I just think they're super competitive and they don't know any better. But now I see it's very interesting that Masvidal's not like that. You know, I guess he makes it up because Yoel's cage grabbing, punching in the nuts, eye poking, all anything and everything you can do.
Stoolgate?
Well, that's on him. But I was thinking the other Stoolgate. Yes, Tim Kennedy, that one. Yeah. Yeah. But I like that. I'm like, hey man, I've seen it, and to me, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying type shit. But it's cool that Masvidal is like really is that honorable dude. He's total street guy, but also a true martial artist. He's very like Nick Diaz in that way, you know. Although people make it seem like he has this crazy temper that he'll fight you anywhere and everywhere, but it's like you really got to piss him off. He's not Nick and Nate Diaz who you could say hi to and all of a sudden they'll slap you, you know?
Oh, yeah. He's not like, He's not jumpy.
He seems at least somewhat approachable. The Diaz brothers is always like, they always got a gun pointed at their head or something.
Yeah, that's true. Those are facts. I'm sorry. I love them too, but yeah. Man.
Yeah, certain things they're just truisms and just can't be denied. But done with MMA. We're gonna move on to our news story. And this week's news story is coming out of Florida, weirdly enough. Talking about Jorge and all that. Probably the two craziest things combined, the two craziest places on earth, Florida and Australia. And a dude was killed by a large flightless bird in a horrible accident, says the headline. This bird is called a cassowary, which I've never heard about. It's equal parts beautiful and scary. It has this blue face and these crazy looking eyes. It looks like a giant peacock mixed with an ostrich. But they're very belligerent and very aggressive. And this dude fell in this encaged area. He fell somehow. And this animal has these dagger-like claws that are up to 4 inches long. And they could grow up to 6 feet, weigh over 160 pounds, jump 7 feet in the air, and run 31 miles per hour. I don't think they've said exactly how it happened, but needless to say, he got fucked up, and he did.
Fuck that. That's a cover-up. It's a goddamn raptor. Seriously, what the hell? It's a bird?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard things about ostriches and even worse things about emus, which is kind of I don't know if you know what an emu is. It's similar to an ostrich. But apparently this fucking bird's even crazier than them, man.
No, fuck that. 167 pounds, and it's a female, so I wonder how big a male gets.
Well, and sometimes in the animal world, too, the females are bigger.
Oh, that's true, huh? The birds. Well, yeah. Is this a fucking bird? It's not a bird, it's a raptor. It's a fucking raptor. And then what does it say? A three-toed, but each of the bird's three-toed feet hides a dagger-like claw and an inner toe that grow up to 4 inches long. What the fuck? What the fuck? I mean, it's beautiful. It's like a peacock. You're right.
Yeah, like a peacock that can kill you.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've been around. I've gone to like parks around here. There's like certain parks, and there's a place called the Arboretum here in SoCal. It's basically like a zoo, but for plants. Just a bunch of pretty plants and trees and shit. and they have peacocks roaming around, and those fuckers jump and get near you, and it's kind of creepy. I felt kind of intimidated at points. But I mean, if it came down to it, I'm sure I could fuck one up. I'm not gonna try and fight this fucking thing, man.
That's crazy, man. It only mainly feeds on fruit and whatnot. So why the fuck does it have like fucking fangs like that?
Australia.
Fuck.
Anything in Australia can kill you.
Crazy, man. It's leftover raptor, I'm telling you.
Fucking spiders, snakes, kangaroos, dingoes, everything over there can kill you.
Oh, scary shit, man.
Well, it's like the thing with like hippos. You know, hippos are some of the most violent and deadly animals in the world, and they just eat grass and fruits and shit.
True that.
But
They look so cute.
Hippos?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm not getting near one. Fuck that.
All right. Fuck that shit.
To bring it back to MMA, that's why I always liked what was that dude? Paroche, the Aussie fighter back in the day. He was like 50 years old and shit. Anthony Paroche, his nickname was the Hippo. I was like, damn, I like that. And the cool thing is that he wasn't even fat. I didn't expect Mark Hunt to be called the Hippo, but no, he was just a regular dude. But it's funny because he wasn't really the most aggressive guy, but whatever, it's a cool name.
Nuts.
That's gonna do it for us though. We had enough talk of fights, violence, crazy animals, Floridians, crazy shit that happens in Florida.
Shit, I'm just still staring at this fucking bird's eyes right now. This picture, like.
As always, we'll put the link in the feed and everything. You guys will be able to see it and read the article for yourself. But yeah, don't fuck with these birds. Needless to say, if we give you any parting words of wisdom, don't fuck with these birds.
Hey man, how long do we go?
Quite a while. It's been a while. We haven't done one by ourselves in a while, so we just wanted to talk shit. Yeah. Hopefully everyone likes it, but I had a good time.
Maybe we'll get a thumbs down because of the first part. I don't even know, but I don't care. I'm not religious. Not y'all's problems.
Oh man, if anyone comments on this, I'm dying to know. The rebuttal. Anyway, that's gonna do it for us tonight. Thank you, Reen, as always. You can find me at Twitter and Instagram at Juice_MMA. Where can they find you, Reen? What do you got?
Instagram and Twitter at FoxWithYa. Hit me up. Don't DM me dick pics though.
Well, your birthday is coming up. There's always a special occasion for something.
God damn it! It better be wrapped in a bow or something.
Be classy, please. Yeah, that's Reen's at. As I said, I'm at Juice_MMA. Keep an eye out. Next Friday, I am going to be covering Combate Americas here in LA. So it should be on the zone if you guys want to catch that. If not, stay on my Twitter. Most likely be tweeting and probably going to have a few articles out too. So keep an eye out for that. Once again, thank you guys. Find us on Twitter, and you can find the podcast anywhere podcasts are at: iTunes, Spreaker, Spotify. You know the deal. And I'm posting all the links up on my JuiceMMA.com website. So keep an eye out for that as well. So until next week, catch you guys later.
Have fun.